We're going to do a quick review of the Rocita chiller. I purchased this one from Walmart. This is exactly what I used on my last build. I sold my last cold plunge build. I'm building a new one, finally. Have the time to do it. And so my first thing was to order the chiller. I've got some wood and the tub ready. I have the rest of the pieces to get. But this is the chiller I chose for the previous, and I'm actually using it in my temporary setup here while my other cold plunge is gone. I have just an inflatable setup here. I'll talk more about this in a different video. But this is just a temporary setup. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop the chiller out, do a quick unboxing of it, and tell you a little bit about why I chose this versus the many others that are out there. Okay, so I have the Rocita chiller here. I purchased this from Walmart. I'll include a link to it below. But I used this in my last setup, which was done by similar plans to the DIY cold plunge that Joe has set up. I'm actually using his plans for the Oval 2.0 DIY cold plunge. And so I've got my 150-gallon Rubbermaid tub. I've got some of the other parts. The chiller came in. I want to go ahead and unbox this and start to hook it up to my temporary setup so that I can still do cold plunges without having to add tons of ice. So the Rocita chiller is under 300 bucks. I believe I got this one for $230 on Walmart.com. All right, so it's pretty well packaged. It comes from China. And knowing what this comes with already, I'm going to tell you most of the stuff you're not going to use. This is the manual. It's relatively useful for programming it. It comes with a cute little pump. Maybe if you were setting up an aquarium, or a toddler cold plunge, it might work. But you're pretty much just going to set that aside, give it to somebody who needs it for an aquarium. It has some fittings in here. These are the fittings that come with it. They're meant to be used on a much smaller diameter hose than we're going to be using. We're either going to be using PVC, spa hose, or they have a reinforced braided hose as well that we've used in the past. But depending on how you want to do your setup, if you're following Joe at DIY Cold Plunge's plans, he uses spa hose almost always. So, but it's set up to use this smaller aquarium hose, and the fittings are fine, but you're just not going to get much going through this. The volume of water that you want to have for a cold plunge is much larger than that. So those fittings, you can set them aside. I actually took this piece off of the fitting, took it with me when I was going and purchasing my first parts, doing my first cold plunge, because this fitting is not normal. So you want to take it with you to the hardware store. If you're using DIY plans from Joe at DIY Cold Plunge, he's got it all listed out. You don't have to worry about it. Got a power cord and some foam. And we will take this guy out of here. There we go. And actually, more of the hose. I forgot that that came with that. So, to unbox it, comes wrapped in plastic. There are the two fittings. We're going to make modifications to those for a cold plunge. So there will be fittings on top of this. I'll send you guys over to the DIY Cold Plunge shop. They've actually got pre-built fittings that turn this into pump ready. I use the Active Aqua. You can use a Danner 550 or any of the other pumps. Again, I'll link all of these parts down below. But a pump is required because this system is just a chiller. If you hook this up to your in and out of your tub, you're going to freeze the unit. Water has to be flowing in one side and back out the other in order for the chiller to properly operate. So this does not come with a built-in pump. A lot of people assume that since it's a chiller, it must come with a pump too, right? No, it does not. So you need a pump to actually push water or pull water through it. I prefer pushing it because the Danner and the Active Aquas are way better pumps at pushing than pulling. And that leads to another discussion of how do we line this up in the series, and that'll be a whole other video of where do you put your pump, where do you put your filter, where do you put your chiller, do you have a pre-filter, and all that. But that's a whole other video. So you have two ports here. It does not matter. They're interchangeable. You're simply sending it through a system that is cooling a body of water that's ridden through coils and out the other side. So you can go this way or you can go this way. It does not matter. It has a nice little LED readout on the front. It's programmable. I don't remember the minimum setting on this, but this is rated for 75 gallons. Now, a lot of you are going, well, what if I've got a 150-gallon cold plunge? Well, the human body is going to take up some of that water space in the tub. The same thing with this one here. I usually run in a 100-gallon tub, I run about 60 to 75 gallons. In a 150-gallon tub, I run about 100 to 120. It's rated for 75, but I'm going to also say that it's rated for an aquarium. An aquarium has glass walls, thermal transfer. My son would love this. He's an aerospace engineer from Notre Dame, just graduated. Congrats, Trey. But in any case, he would love the heat transfer theory of all of this stuff. But these are rated for aquariums, and these tubs are insulated. So this works really well for that. Even though it's not stated that it's for that, I've used it. This is my third time, and I trust it. So let's go on to a few more of the features. It is a solid metal exterior unit. It has plastic fittings, just like you'd expect, and it has a vent for the hot air to come off of it on the back. You want to make sure you note where this is in your system so that you're not placing this facing the tub and inadvertently heating your tub while you're chilling it. So it has grab handles on the side, and I'd say it's probably 25, 35 pounds maybe there. So it's pretty heavy. It's got about a 1 foot by 1 foot footprint. And if you port this into the sides, you can rub this almost right up against the tub on one side or the other and not have to use a lot of hose. Using less hose. Now in my last build I used this braided hose. The more hose you use, the more heat gain you get because this is not insulated. So you can take and rub or run foam around this. Last time we wrapped it, and that's fine. But if you can shorten the total amount of hose that you use for these systems, you're going to be way more efficient with a chiller, and it's going to be on a lot less. So like I said before, you're going to have to modify fittings for the top of this in order to mate up with either your braided or your PVC or your spa hose that's going to go to and from the pump and the unit itself. So as I stated, it's programmable, and when you program this, you can hit a range. So if you set this thing to cool down to 48 degrees, instead of it having set at just 48 degrees, you can set a range, plus or minus, so that this thing is not constantly on, off, on, off. So if you set it at 48 and all of a sudden it rises up to say 52, you've got a 4-degree variance so that it's not always trying to get back to 48, from 48 to 49 to 48 to 49, 50 to back to 48. This will allow you to set a range, get it down to say 48 degrees, and then overnight or the next day it may rise a bit, but then it's going to kick on when it gets to say 52 degrees and then cool back down to 48. That just allows this to be way more efficient and only running at certain times of the day. One other thing I did want to note is a lot of people think that you have to put the filter in front. These ports and the system is a pretty wide open system, and anything that makes it through what I would put as a pre-filter into this is not going to damage it. Will you void your warranty? Maybe, I don't know. You don't have to put the filler or the filter in before this. In fact, I put the pump pushing water through here and then filter on the other side with a pre-filter on the beginning. A couple misconceptions. Again, this does not have a pump in it. You have to have a pump to push or pull water through it. Otherwise, if you just hook this up to a cold plunge, port in and out, you will just freeze the unit. The other thing is, it's not big enough. It's rated for 75 gallons. Yes, it's rated for 75 gallons in a very, very open thermal system, which is an aquarium. Heat transfer, again, my son will geek out on that. So this will work for a cold plunge. Another question I get is, well, it says it's only rated to 62 degrees or something like that. Yes, again, that is in an uninsulated system. That's pretty much the best it can do. But if you had an insulated tub or system holding water, it's going to be able to get much lower. I've gotten this down to 42 degrees and lower. I don't typically like to plunge there every day, so I cut mine in the upper 40s to low 50s, especially if my wife's getting in it. She's like a 56-degree girl. Okay, just a couple quick summary items. You know, the performance to price for this is why I bought it. I'm kind of a cheapskate sometimes, and why spend $800, $1,200 on a chiller when this one will do? It is really, really good for the price and the performance you get out of it. It's quiet. I am out here in my barn, if you will, in the warehouse, in the shop for FitBuddy, but you don't hear it. It's very quiet. The pump's actually louder than that, so, and it's a very small footprint. If you add a pump to the side of this, you're talking maybe 2 feet by 1 foot, and so it doesn't take up a lot of space, especially if you're using something like an ice barrel or something which is upright and also has a small footprint. But this is the Rocita chiller, and it's what I'm using for my next DIY cold plunge build.